Hello again, everybody. Welcome to the second episode of the NXT scene. In this episode, I will give you, of course, my review of this week's NXT and this week's NXT UK, which was our Open Challenge Cup, as well as, of course, predictions for NXT TakeOver 31. With that being said, let's go ahead and get right into it. For we are NXT. I hope you all are doing well. Let's go ahead and talk about the show. For NXT episode, it was a really good go-home show. There was pretty much great build and idea from everybody's mindset going into the matches that we have coming tomorrow evening, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. As I record this to you now, Saturday afternoon, October 3rd, 4:09 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The show kicked off, of course, with a kind of a grudge match as Shotzi Blackheart and Dakota Kai. They renewed hostilities from the previous week's Battle Royale after Shotzi Blackheart eliminated Dakota Kai. This was a really good back and forth one-on-one match. The most ridiculous spot, though, was definitely the apron suplex bomb attempt by Shotzi Blackheart, Dakota Kai. I can't tell who got the worst of that, but I felt like almost that Shotzi Blackheart landed on literally almost on her head, while it seemed like Kai kind of cushioned the blow a little bit on her impact, where she more so got like shoulder and then fell to the floor. I was worried for this was going to be ref stoppage based on Shotzi Blackheart's health. But as the match continued, she continued to fight for it. She gave it all, gave the ball pin and everything, and it looked like she was on the verge of winning until Dakota Kai's second, Raquel Gonzalez, tried to play difference maker with distraction, only to be attacked with a hit and run by Rhea Ripley. And thanks to that little bit of hesitatory, momentary distraction, Rhea Ripley distracted Raquel enough that Dakota Kai was wondering what's going on, and Shotzi Blackheart caught her out of nowhere with a roll-up. 1, 2, 3. So once again, Dakota Kai kind of falls off, and Shotzi Blackheart continues her run momentum, really pushing through this NXT Women's Division. But honestly, let's be honest here. Neither of these women are involved on TakeOver. This was just kind of an idea, I feel like, more so to develop Raquel Gonzalez versus Rhea, which we know is the match soon to happen. We can't wait for these two powerhouses to lock horns, fairly speaking. As far as Dakota Kai, I'm not sure what she does at this point because things have not really gone her way. She's already had a chance at the NXT Women's title and lost. And now Shotzi Blackheart's beating her. And you wonder if she's going to blame herself or blame Raquel. I wonder if Raquel and Dakota Kai are going to go their separate ways. Just some stuff to think about, folks. Anyway, as we move on from there, we get a very interesting segment with a one-on-one interview with Santos Escobar and Isaiah Scott, the allies, of course. As far as I know, different rooms, probably in the Performance Center as well, or Full Sail University. And basically, each man, they basically speak their piece on why this Sunday, for the first time ever on a TakeOver, I might add, can't believe it took this long, NXT TakeOver 31, the NXT Cruiserweight Championship will be on the line as Santos Escobar defends against Isaiah Scott. Scott, of course, talking about he's beaten this man twice, pinned him twice, considering they were tag team bouts. But the times that he and Escobar have gotten one-on-one, he's used excuses. He's used Legado del Fantasma. He's used a fixed lucha mask. While Santos Escobar is like, you are just not good enough. You are the one making excuses. With what I am doing, I have built an empire and renewed Lucha Libre by being this champion. And once again, this Sunday, Swerve, you're just going to have another excuse as to why you fail again. While Swerve says he's not going to fail, he's going to prove why he is better than Santos Escobar. So considering that Riz has been the only real challenger as of this point to the NXT Cruiserweight Championship, I am really looking forward to this match. It's definitely got the third time's the charm type feel to it. And I'm curious if Santos Escobar will be indeed a man of his word and literally will beat him fair and square. But we're going to have to wait and see. Anyway, moving on from there, we go into, so we go back into this Sam Fisher type of vignette of somebody who's basically saying that this Sunday they return, we claim what's theirs. I've heard people say Bobby Roode, that's not right because clearly he's on Raw. Damn it. I've heard people say Bo Dallas, which is very a high possibility because he was a former NXT champion, though he never held the new title. He held the original title. I've heard Ember Moon, but folks, last I checked, he's injured and hasn't been seen since WWE Backstage. It's not Kevin Owens. It's not Shinsuke Nakamura. It's not Asuka. It's not Shayna Baszler. Oof. But the Orlando thing keeps throwing me off. It's not Andrade. I really don't know who this person is, and I'm curious who it is tomorrow. But again, right now, the most logical pick to me, it sounds like, 'cause I have no idea where this guy's been. As far as I know, he was never furlong. The most obvious pick right now, it seems, is definitely Bo Dallas, and we'll see if that actually is true come tomorrow. It'd be interesting for him to have a career reset in NXT. Lord knows other people need it. Anyway, as we move on from there, Cameron Grimes, he comes up with his own type of open challenge invitational to prove why he is the best, but give others opportunities. He beats a couple of jobbers, period. And then as a third jobber is about to come out, Ridge Holland comes out, and Cameron Grimes said that he was not part of this. Well, he made us a part of this, as Ridge Holland beat the holy crap out of Cameron Grimes in the corner, to the point that technically Cameron Grimes, he beat Ridge Holland, but statement sent, as Ridge Holland was disqualified, literally stomping Cameron Grimes in the face. Someone scraped that man off the mat. Jeez. So I guess now we're setting up this feud between Cameron Grimes and Ridge Holland. And I think Cameron Grimes has bitten off more than he can chew inadvertently, because Ridge Holland has been very dominant and destructive, and the man wants to fight. Now, you wonder, again, is this because of what happened with the Johnny Gargano match, that scary spot, and why right now they're just slow burning him? But why would they use Cameron Grimes for this, I wonder? Either way, this should be an interesting feud, and it gives both these men something to do, as I don't know whether both these men are considered mid-card or being built towards maybe the main event picture. After all, several competitors for the North American title ladder match from last TakeOver, they were involved in a chance to actually challenge for the NXT title. We'll talk more about that later, so we will have a face-to-face. But this was a fun segment, because anytime Cameron Grimes just gets beaten up, I laugh. And Ridge Holland, he impresses me. And I see a lot of potential in that guy. Moving on from there, we then go backstage to the Garganos as they are interviewed regarding what happened to Tegan Nox. And basically, Candice and Gargano, like, they're really sorry to hear about that. But what basically happened to her was karma. But also, they're just getting ready for their main event, mixed tag team match against their respective challengers for their gold in Damian Priest and Io Shirai. And basically, they said tonight, it's just going to be a teaser of what's to come Sunday, as the Johnny Gargano way will finally lead us to be the first married couple to both hold singles gold at the same time. And they wish her the best also on her road to recovery. So this was an interesting segment. I can only imagine what's going through Tegan's mind right now. Again, injured, apparently with a torn ACL, going to require surgery. So Tegan, I wish you all the best on your road to recovery. I look forward to your return. Following that, we go into another backstage vignette as we see Austin Fury is interviewed, and he basically belittles Kyle O'Reilly. He's not impressed with him. He believes he should be in that spot because he was on WrestleMania. He went to Monday Night Raw. Yeah, how'd that work out for you, by the way? The kid is brash, arrogant, but definitely brings a lot to the ring, and he definitely seems to really be passionate about this. But he needs to watch what he says when it comes to the Undisputed Era, unless he has not seen what happens to people that step up to them in the past and can't back it up. But hey, kid's got guts. I respect that. Following this, we also go into another vignette as another match was made for TakeOver between Kushida and Velveteen Dream. But Kushida, this is different for him. Kushida says now he's had a mixed run. Coming from here to America from Japan has been the toughest challenge, not only for his family, but for him in his life. And these injuries have only hindered his run. But now he's 100% and he's ready to show the world the real Kushida. So it sounds like Kushida is going to bring a much more aggressive demeanor to NXT. And I think it's long overdue for the former IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. And I've been waiting to see Kushida really get that push forward. But considering the runs for strong style people in NXT, I'm a little worried about the long term, but it seems at least short term right now, things are going his way. And proof of that came with his match that just followed. So I was ready to see the real Kushida, and I got a subtle tease of it. As basically Kushida, he took on Tony Nese in a short little type, I think, warm-up match, really. Tony Nese tried to, of course, accelerate his momentum, his cruiserweight style with the moonsault, tries to go for the sunset driver. Of course, he just could not have it find a counter for Kushida, who kept trapping his arm, finally trapped his arm into the hoverboard lock, and Tony Nese had no choice but to tap. out. So good momentum for Kushida as who comes up on the Titantron, but the Velveteen Dream. And he says, you are not ready to be in the Velveteen Dream's spotlight. And come Sunday, dream over. I think right now it's finally time for Dream to be over, considering recent stuff. And we all saw how the internet blasted him when he came back. I feel like right now it's time to finally push Kushida forward. As others have said, they're surprised the Velveteen Dream has not been up on the other rosters yet. But again, we are going to have to wait and see. Following this, where are my matters? Apparently Cameron Grimes, he just wants to find William Regal, and he had no room to talk to anybody, but who does he pass by in the hallway who's back? Freak! Oh boy. The real uncrowned, in my opinion, North American champion, Dexter Lumis, is back. No words, just a stare. Cameron Grimes says he's weird. I agree. Things are about to get interesting. This is a future champion waiting to happen. Dexter Lumis is back. And who knows what's going through that man's mind. Ah, jeez. Anyway, moving on from there, we go into women's action as Kaden Carter with her friend Casey Catanzaro was in singles action against Xia Li. And it seemed like things from the tag team match fallout kind of like cooled down and were forgotten. Xia Li came out with a smile and her aggressive kick-based style. But it was a really good, respectable bout here. But then there was a couple of subtle moments that Xia Li kind of showed a bit more of a nastier side to her that I kind of liked, especially attacking Kaden Carter with spinning her around on the apron side into a forearm smash and a pump kick. In the end, though, Kaden Carter, she did get the better of Xia Li and got her in a roll-up maneuver. And as the two were going to shake hands, it seems Xia Li once again refuses. So right now, I feel at the breaking point for some of the talent in NXT, especially Xia Li, who's been there for a long time, really has had many opportunities to really show what she's made of. She's been involved in numbers of battle royales towards titles, but never capitalized on them. And recently, her losing streak, I think, is finally getting the best of her. So I wonder now what she's going to do to change her style and possibly change her momentum. As Kaden Carter and Casey Catanzaro, they wondered what's going on. As Casey was really going to get involved here, but Xia Li walked away. And something tells me that Casey Catanzaro is going to face Xia Li in the very near future. Something's got to give here for Xia Li, I feel like. She's at a breaking point. She might go heel, but I'm just saying. Anyway, moving on from there, we go into Adam Cole, baby, as he comes in to stand up for his friend in the Undisputed Era. And literally, he and Austin Theory, they have a really good competitive match. I was fairly impressed. I must say, though, for a guy that's brash, arrogant, very young in the game, I see a lot of Adam Cole type of mannerisms when it comes to Austin Theory. And I must say that you had a very aggressive match. Most of his head was purple after Adam Cole really worked on his head, calling him not special, trapping him in a headlock. In the end, Austin Theory, he had a number of times where he really could have capitalized. You think he would get the win here, but he was not going to beat Adam Cole. Let's be honest, okay? This is NXT. This is Adam Cole. This is what the Undisputed Era has ruled for the last 3 years. He given 2 options. He went with option 1. He wrestled Adam Cole in a very good match. Adam Cole, bang, last shot. Adam Cole wins. And then he emphatically states, this is Kyle O'Reilly's biggest moment. Kyle O'Reilly is ready, and that is undisputed. I love this form of unity, not only among this group, but really among what they call themselves, a group of friends, a group of brothers. And it really showed here with the prime target, especially talking about Kyle O'Reilly, who really thrives under pressure. This is the biggest moment in his wrestling career. He lives for professional wrestling. I love that heart and that mindset, and I'm really looking forward to this match. He's been wanting to do this, whether it was in Japan and Finn Balor wasn't there, or coming back here and Finn Balor wasn't in NXT. Now they finally meet, as Kyle O'Reilly has been in the game for 15 years, and of course appreciates and respects Finn Balor as one of the best. While Finn Balor, he has been in the game for 20 years. And this was subtly put over during their face-to-face sit-down with Shawn Michaels moderating. And basically, Shawn Michaels, he just let the two men speak their piece. Speak about why they believe they're going to win. Finn Balor told him why I'm the champion. and you're not. You're a future champion, but you're facing me. And unfortunately, when you face me, you aren't going to be able to win. But I do ask you this, are you a man? Because when it comes to you guys, it seems that you all stand for each other behind each other's backs. Can't get the job done by yourself. As Kyle O'Reilly basically subtly his own metaphor about these hands basically rubbing together, because that's what NXT does. We stick together, we look out for one another, but in the end, we also respect one another. And basically, Kyle O'Reilly says, you might have 5 more years of me, but what does that matter, okay? I've been waiting on this for 15 years. And Finn Balor just subtly puts that, I expect you to bring your best. You've already proven that you're the best. You fought for this opportunity. Now we're going to see what you can do with it. And Shawn Michaels gave Finn Balor basically the last word. He called Kyle O'Reilly basically the best kept secret in NXT, maybe in professional the rest of the day, while of course Shawn Michaels called Finn Balor one of the best overall, especially renewed in his career, being now the NXT champion. So there are a number of things I could take away from this. One, this is going to be a one-of-a-kind NXT championship bout that we haven't seen in a while. That's really going to go the distance, and I feel like neither man's going to injure themselves, and it's going to go a long way. Two, this is Kyle O'Reilly's biggest breakout moment as a single star after being a tag team specialist, it seems, in the Undisputed Era, as Finn Balor subtly puts it. So it makes me wonder, regardless of the result here, what's next for Kyle O'Reilly, and how will the result affect the Undisputed Era going forward? Three, am I seeing a form of evolution here where you might be shocked to see him win, but then a turn? Or does he not win and basically does what Cameron Grimes said regarding him and Adam Cole hold up? And does that affect Kyle O'Reilly mentally going forward? Does he break off from the era? Does the era remain the same following this event? There's a number of things to think about here. As again, Kyle O'Reilly, talking about what Cameron Grimes said, you know Adam Cole, yeah, you never be the man Adam Achilles. But again, Kyle O'Reilly is not Adam Cole. He is Kyle O'Reilly. He is himself. He is a professional wrestler, and he's going to prove why he is that this Sunday against Finn Balor, either in defeat or in victory. We'll have to wait and see. And stay tuned, because of course I'll be doing predictions for NXT TakeOver 31 at the end of this video. So I really enjoyed so far the impressive go-home build towards all the matches as we go into our main event now to hype up the last 2 matches of the show. The NXT Women's title match and the NXT North American Championship match. Why does my camera keep doing that? And as we have, hell of an entrance, by the way. We have Damian Priest and Io Shirai go straight after the Garganos, who come out in unity together through the Johnny Gargano theme, attired in light blue and pink hybrid wrestling gear. While Damian Priest, he first comes out, and you think he's going to shoot the air and shoot his name. No, he shoots towards who he calls a rock star, Io Shirai, and these two literally drop their belts, look at each other at the height difference, good grief, and go straight after the Garganos in the ring. The match is on. And literally, it's supposed to be the men versus men, the women versus women. But this is NXT. You know we break boundaries. And literally, it was at times men versus women, women versus men, especially after Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae were set up in the corner. Damian Priest, he hits Johnny Gargano, but as Io Shirai is about to come in, Johnny Gargano gets out of the ring, and Candice LeRae eats Meteor double knees in the corner, pulls out Candice LeRae. It seems that the Garganos, they can't get stuff together, especially after Io Shirai uses Damian Priest as a launching pad off his shoulders for a big crossbody splash. But things eventually does turn in favor of the Garganos, literally distracting one another, other adversaries together. And this match really broke down when Candice LeRae was trapped in an armbar type maneuver. Johnny Gargano goes in to break it up. Damian Priest gets the better of Johnny Gargano. But then it comes down to legal men, being Damian Priest and Johnny Gargano. And Io Shirai, Candice LeRae, they're duking it out on the outside. But somehow they find a spot. Ref doesn't see it. Candice LeRae with the dreaded low blow. And then Io Shirai takes Candice LeRae out. And as we move towards the end of this match, Johnny Gargano hits the final beat and pins Damian Priest 1, 2, 3 for the Garganos to win this. And then following that, Io Shirai, she comes in a little upset. Johnny Gargano doesn't touch her. Io Shirai, though, she lays her out. And we find both Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae holding the titles, and apparently post-show, they were up in the corner with the titles worn around their waists. So, will the Johnny Gargano way finally fulfill another prophecy in NXT, where we will have the first married couple to both have singles gold at the same time? Or will Damian Priest's reign of infamy continue now, at the expense of the name of Johnny Gargano, who he feels will slip out of his fingertips. And will Io Shirai's reign continue regarding the fact she doesn't like Candice, never has, and virtually seems unstoppable and is ready to hurt her. I am really looking forward to this takeover, and I thought this was a very good go-home show. Seriously, WWE needs to learn that in their other rosters, just saying. And I feel like they pretty much covered all 5 matches. Curious how the tag team picture is on hold, but again, considering their tag team picture, I'm kind of not really surprised. And overall, this could be a really game-changing takeover for many foundations of NXT. 1 grudge match, 4 title matches. It's going to be an interesting show, to say the least. So, with that being said, before I give you predictions on NXT TakeOver 31, let's go ahead now and go to the other side of the pond and look at the other scene in NXT, and that is, of course, NXT UK. As you know, NXT UK this week, it opened up, of course, trying to start the Heritage Cup, as well as revisiting events that happened last week. We, of course, get welcomed in by Andy Shepherd and Nigel McGuinness. And basically, we start off figuring out who is our wild card here. And it was decided in a triple threat number 1 contenders match. And the competitors really surprised me. It was Ashton Smith and the tag team of Kenny Williams and Amir Jordan. So you got this guy that's definitely the stronger of the 3 in the powerhouse Ashton Smith. And then you have this unlikely duo that's a tag team, each going at it for an opportunity to be part of this one-of-a-kind event for the first time. This was a really good back-and-forth triple threat main event, and I was really curious how much the tag team partners were either going to work together or go at each other. There was a little bit of both during this match. Ashton Smith really demonstrated his power here at one point, literally spin out powerbomb Amir Jordan for a near fall. Kenny Williams, though known as the Lucky One, though, he really garnered momentum back into his favor at one point. And as this match continued, there was a couple of times where Kenny Williams looked like he was going to win on Ashton Smith, but then out of nowhere, Amir Jordan, off screen, does a senton off the ropes and literally crushes his partner. Then he goes for a fall. Not enough. This match really comes down to the 2 friends as they're duking out among each other, but Ashton Smith, he capitalizes, but Amir Jordan, he finally hits big power move on Ashton Smith for Kenny Williams to come in and stop Amir Jordan from getting the fall. And Kenny Williams basically capitalizes on his partner's work, and he pins, not his partner. Kenny Williams pins Ashton Smith, 1, 2, 3, and becomes our final entrant in the NXT UK Heritage Cup. So I've always been curious about this tag team because at one point it was like, okay, you need to get more serious, stop with the Bangalore, stop the dancing. And then as far as this new likely duo between Ashton Smith and Jordan Oliver, I was kind of interested to see what Jordan Oliver would say about this regarding his partner's performance and the fact that he was not involved in this at all, like rooting his partner on ringside, etc. He just let him go on his own. But this was a interesting match. I'm curious what it means for the tag team, and I'm curious now how Kenny Williams will use this opportunity because we know who he's facing in the opening round. He will be facing Trent Seven of Mustache Mountain, and that will be to come very soon. I'm really looking forward to that match, and we'll see if the Lucky End's luck continues or runs out in the opening round. Moving on from there, we then take a look at the NXT UK Women's Division and 2 of its most promising stars, as we have the fashionista, and who some say is the best heel in NXT, hello Jerry Slaughter, Jenny, basically talking about what she brings to fashion, her different side. And then we also basically learn about the little, young, bright, eager, ready to soar and fly Saya Brookside, who's been working on this with no help, with no handouts, her whole life. So, with that being said, we basically go into the ring for one-on-one women's action. As basically Ginny and Zaya Brookside, they have a nice mutual one-on-one match. But as Ginny slowly puts in the very beginning, she's already beat Zaya Brookside twice. And you wonder if this match would be third time the charm or history repeats. And you also wonder what Ginny was saying in her previous thing, how she has brought more and evolved and is ready to claim her throne as she now calls herself the Queen of NXT UK. Hey, I'm not going to argue, especially after this match. Zaya Brookside put in a very game effort, especially after how Jenny basically called her, you don't belong in here. You're just a kid You do not belong in the ring with me. You can't beat me. But Xia Brookside, she did garner a little bit of momentum. She then goes for her rookie bomb, they call it, out of the corner. But Jinny literally capitalizes, at one point knocking her out too. Jinny is vicious. My gosh, good grief. And basically, these two had a really competitive back and forth match. Again, Zaya's always happy and eager. Jinny is just no nonsense. And when she has control, it's virtually over. And basically, everything changes when Jinny enters the ring. And she pulls out this new move after working on Zaya's lower back. It's like a STF arm locked / leg lock type of hybrid submission. It's like she trapped one of her legs and was literally stretching her body upwards. And Xia Brookside had no choice but to tap out. So I guess this time off really has evolved some of the NXT UK superstars. And Jinny, she continues where she left off as far as her run and momentum goes. And basically, she says that she is back and she's here to claim her crown as she is the queen. And then, of course, we suddenly find out that Kaylee Ray will be back next week for a State of the Union address. I have a feeling that those two are going to come face to face. And to think, the last time these two were in the same building together, Jinny looked from afar as a very prone Kaylee Ray did successfully defend her title against Piper Niven. And even before COVID era, these two were in a tag team against Piper Niven and her friend, and they got the win. So you wonder if she's going to bring that up, like you owe me one, or is she going to say that you are damaged goods, time for you to step aside, let somebody who truly can run this brand run it now. So the question, is it Kaylee Ray's NXT UK still? Or is it very soon going to become Jinny's NXT UK? The bottom line is this. Those two are leading this division. Xia Brookside, she has a ton of potential. She's only going to continue to grow. And again, like her father says, you do this on your own, and she is. I look forward to what's next for her. And again, Jinny, I'm surprised she didn't do like the whole claw thing with the nails on the side. Again, really methodical style, never smiles, straight up business, gets it done in the ring. As we move on from there, we get a very interesting, I don't know what you call it, message, lesson, warning from Eddie Dennis regarding what he brings as a mathematical genius. But we also know he's a very sadistic, methodical type of individual in the ring. We all saw what he did to Trent Seven at NXT TakeOver Blackpool 2. But that being said, there was a point, though, where, again, we did see Pretty Deadly in that video package, and you wonder if he wants to maybe bring his, like, education to further Pretty Deadly for his own agenda or theirs. A very calculated man, it seems, and I have no idea where this is going. But I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. But here's what I do know. Sometimes intelligence can be a very dangerous weapon in itself. And then you got this guy who could also wrestle. Intelligence and physical attributes. That's a dangerous combination. I'd be careful about the Dragon of Wells if I was NXT UK. We also get a subtle recap of course, Mark Andrews, who is injured from a while back after some sort of attack from who knows who. And then, of course, tag teams galore. They came to look onto his injury, including his tag partner, Flash Morgan Webster. They basically were hyper backstage about this is the prime opportunity to show what British wrestling is all about and who truly capitalizes on it, as Mark Andrews does support his partner, Flash Morgan Webster, who is in the Heritage Cup while he isn't. And we got some hype towards Flash Morgan's match, which will be next week against A Kid. Talk about A Kid, who's been through the working class all across Madrid and Spain, has been working his entire life for this opportunity. He's got that working class mentality. And we're in for something very special when he and Flash Morgan Webster meet in the middle of the ring for the Heritage Cup, which I believe, again, will be next week. But I do want to say this before I go into our Heritage Cup match for this week. It's interesting when you think about when he was injured, the first team on the scene was the Hunt. And then the Hunt, following their loss from last week, they're backstage confronted by, for comfort, Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster. And they just slowly walk away. I really wonder if the Hunt, just on instinct alone, were the ones that attacked Mark Andrews. And are we getting a Hunt versus the Southwell Connection boys as a feud maybe going forward in NXT UK? With the depth of their tag team division, I could definitely see that happening. Just something to consider, folks. maybe I'm looking too deep into it. Anyway, we then go into our first match of the NXT UK Heritage Cup. As the Bruiserweight, Pete Dunne, he was presiding over this match as special guest referee, knowing the volatile situation we have here with this match between Alexander Wolf and Supernova 11 Noam Dar. Of course, Alexander Wolf representing Imperium, where, of course, the mat is sacred. And, of course, Noam Dar, who's just all about himself, pinkies out, proving why he is the best and why everybody else is a dafty. Anyway, let me drop this a little bit, see if that fixes stuff. Yeah, that works a little better. And, of course, as you know, they also just closed the rules for this match, which, of course, I will be happy to provide you right here. And for those who don't know that just saw a Heritage Cup match, or, excuse me, a British Rounds match for the first time, allow me first to disclose the rules for you. It's pretty interesting. So in this match, the rules are as follows, and this goes for every match in the NXT UK Heritage Cup. There are 6 3-minute rounds, 20-second break between rounds, 2 out of 3 falls. Falls can occur via pinfall or submission or countout. Once a fall occurs, the round ends. Winning this match requires getting 2 falls, and that ends the match altogether. You win. But a disqualification or a knockout immediately ends the match. And whoever leads after 6 rounds is declared the winner if it comes down to that. It came close. Let's go ahead and break down what happened here. And again, Pete Dunne, he has got to be the most no-nonsense individual I've ever seen as a special guest referee. Again, never smiles. It was a little slow at times on the counts, but what'd you expect? He's not a referee. He's a freaking competitor. And at one point, he probably wanted to punch Noam Dar in the face, as Noam Dar was really getting under Pete Dunne's skin. As round 1 basically begins, it was really a feeling out process for both Wolf and Noam Dar as the two tried to get the best of each other. And ultimately, they fell at that. But following that, let me go ahead and just get these backgrounds off for you here. Following that, the first round ends. Both men are in their corner for the 20-second mark. And basically, we just go over and see who really has like the momentum so far in this match. And the only thing I noticed basically is before the round ends, Noam Dar gets one last shot in, non-cheap, before the bell ends. And it seems like just off that, you probably would give the momentum to Noam Dar. Then basically we go into round 2. The two lock again. They subtly exchange. And out of nowhere, a simple roll-up exchange. Noam Dar gets the first fall. This round is over immediately. Both men go into their respective corners. Alexander Wolf is pissed. As we basically recompose ourselves, and I can only imagine what's going through Alexander Wolf's head now, basically we go into round 3, and literally this round was straight up fast-paced aggression by both men. Alexander Wolf, knowing the danger of his situation, now being down 1 fall, he literally goes into Noam Dar as hard as he can and tries to punch his lights out. Tries to go for a knockout, I think. Why Noam Dar, he tries to work the arms, tries to slow down the Hatchet Man's momentum. And as the 3-minute clock runs down for this round where Pete Dunne, he's been there for each pinfall attempt, did not get a 3 for either men. Literally the 2 last 10 seconds are just welling into each other. Ding, ding, round 3's over. Oh, and cheap shot though after the bell by Wolf. And the 20 seconds, basically Noam Dar, he basically could not even get out of the gate when it came to the start of round 4 because he was still hindered by that last cheap shot. And Pete Dunne, of course, giving some admonishment to Wolf regarding that. As we go into round 4, Dar tries to bounce back, but eventually during this round, Wolf, he does get a fall, and we're tied 1-1. So now both men, they're on even playing field, sort of. Though it seems Alexander Wolf right now is better mentally and physically at this point, as Noam Dar literally, he was not able to initially gain control in round 5. Using some distraction methods and some disagreements with the referee and his pace of the count for both a Wolf fall and a Dar fall, Noam Dar and Wolf, they go at it for a little while. And basically, Pete Dunne is warning Wolf, don't forget, I'm the referee. I could disqualify you. And it seems that some subtle mind games brought on by Dar, between Dar, Wolf, and Dunne, all 3 men, combustible elements, while Dunne's trying to maintain order. Literally less than 10 seconds left in round 5. Nova Rolla, And Noam Dar, begrudgingly to Pete Dunne's chagrin, gets the win 1-2-3. He advances. There goes my pick. My bracket's ruined. Noam Dar advances in the NXT UK Heritage Cup. And Dunne begrudgingly just looks at him, don't even raises the manhand victory, as Noam Dar is like, But you gotta imagine why Pete Dunne's like this, because really it was Noam Dar's shenanigans with an inadvertent insecurity that Dunne did not want to cause, but it did happen. That basically set up Wolf to get hit with Dar's finisher, and Dar pinned him 1-2-3. And of course, Wolf blames also Pete Dunne for that as well, because he blames Pete Dunne for his refereeing, the count. You did not maintain order. You did not appreciate the principle that Imperium stands for, yada, yada, yada. And literally looks like Wolf is going to attack Dunne. Well, Dunne's no longer a referee now. The match is over. So Dunne attacks Wolf to get the better of him, only for Walter to come out and make his presence known. And we're on the verge of a 2-on-1 beatdown, as, of course, Wolf and Walter, they take advantage of the Bruiserweights, only for Walter's upcoming opponent for his title, the NXT UK Championship, Ilya Dragunov. He comes out, and basically Ilya Dragunov, Pete Dunne, they clear the ring of Imperium, Wolf and Walter, and they stand tall at the very end, as Walter was about to powerbomb Pete Dunne to oblivion. And of course, if it wasn't for Walter, Alexander Wolf would have ate a bitter end. So this was a very interesting show for a couple of reasons. I really wonder now, we're getting Kaylee Ray versus Ginny as the next setup towards the NXT UK Women's Championship. Is there some sort of dissension among the NXT UK tag team division? And I think we got a hell of a tag team match on our hands, even though the only match we know for sure next week is the Heritage Cup match, AEW versus Flash Morgan Webster. We got the Kaylee Stadium address, but I feel like they're going to set up Pete Dunne, Ilya Dragunov versus Walter and Alexander Wolf. Thus, of course, hyping up the NXT UK Championship match to come between Walter and Ilya Dragunov, who are no strangers to each other. And I'm looking forward to where we go from here. But again, fast-paced show. It went about 53 minutes, and it was over. And that concludes everything this week on the NXT scene. Now let's go ahead and look at TAKEOVER 31, NXT TAKEOVER 31. Because again, it looks like a very interesting show and card, and I am looking forward to it. Let's go ahead and talk about the matches. We have Kushida versus Velveteen Dream after Kushida nearly broke Velveteen Dream's arm, really trying to show us the real Kushida. Then Velveteen Dream cost Kushida in, of course, that gauntlet eliminator match. Kushida was the first one eliminated. Kushida, once again, trying to show us why he is still the real Kushida now, getting the best of Tony Nese. Velveteen Dream says he's going to beat him. If this was under different parameters and a different time, considering what's been happening recently, I would probably go for the Velveteen Dream. But I feel like right now, it's finally time to push Kushida forward. If he's going to show us the real Kushida, he can't lose at TAKEOVER to Velveteen Dream. And I can only imagine what sort of crazy entrance and mind games Velveteen Dream is going to try and pull off here too. So keeping it simple here, I'm going with Kushida picks up the win over Velveteen Dream. Dream over. With that being said, every match following that is a championship match. So let's get right into it. After 31 takeovers, we figured that NXT and 205 Live were considered under the same umbrella. And now the Cruiserweight division is literally NXT with this new NXT Cruiserweight Championship, the way it was crowned, the way it's been shown off, both between NXT and 205 Live. They finally have made it to a TAKEOVER pay-per-view. And it is the current champion, Santos Escobar, versus Isaiah Swerve Scott. Now, we all know Santos Escobar. He's been a dominant champion. He's already defended this title once against Isaiah Swerve Scott. That's been his only defense. And literally, he used basically a cheating type of lucha mask with a steel plate, I imagine, on the top of the head to get the best of Isaiah Swerve Scott as chaos ensued between Legado del Fantasma and Breezango, who try to play difference makers here. And of course, Santos Escobar, he has his own group, Legado del Fantasma, who's had runs of mixed fortunes lately between Isaiah Swerve Scott and Breezango. As it seems, Legado del Fantasma cannot get the better of the tag team champions, nor push towards the tag team championship picture. But that's not why we're here. We're talking about the main title. In previous tag matches, Isaiah Swerve Scott's been the one to pin Santos Escobar now, twice. He wants to prove that he is better than this man. Santos Escobar believes all you're doing is making excuses. That's why you're not the champion yet. So, after multiple times Isaiah Swerve Scott has tried to push for this gold, including an incredible four-way at Worlds Collide pre-COVID era, falling short to Jordan Devlin, do I finally see Isaiah Swerve Scott ascending to that role as NXT Cruiserweight Champion? I do. I believe Isaiah Scott is finally going to win. This is the first takeover for the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. You want it to be memorable. You want it to be a big match. There's no bigger, better opponent or story for this title now than these two. And then the epilogue that I hope happens too. So with that being said, I feel like he's going to find a way to overcome all of Santos Escobar's tricks and prove once and for all, not only to himself, but to Santos Escobar, I am better than you. I believe Isaiah Scott is going to become the new NXT Cruiserweight Champion and then be confronted by one previous champion. Just saying. Where has he been? Just saying. All right. Now, I'm going to do these next two matches together because I feel they really will bounce off each other, as we have once again challenging for the NXT North American Championship, Johnny Gargano. He is a previous NXT North American champion, to be fair, though. He takes on Damian Priest, whose reign of infamy has been pretty impressive, with some impressive victories over the likes of Timothy Thatcher. Damian Priest has had a wild run so far in NXT, and it really picked up after his match with Finn Balor at NXT TakeOver in Your House in that crazy stair spot. Ouch. He's had some fallout feuds with Cameron Grimes, and he finally ascended, literally, a ladder in a 5-way ladder match to crown a new NXT North American Championship after Keith Lee vacated the title, because Keith Lee was our previous North American champion before, well, basically GAB, Great American Bash. So now, out of nowhere, considering who was involved in that match, it was decided that Johnny Gargano, just cause I guess, Johnny Gargano is going to challenge for the NXT North American Championship. He has this fulfilling idea. Hashtag the Johnny Gargano way. That's his philosophy. And that's the philosophy that he and his wife, Candice LeRae, are using now in their run in NXT. So, with that being said, do I see Johnny Gargano once again falling short on a takeover, or do I see Johnny Gargano finally using the Johnny Gargano way to capitalize on this gold? He did use his wife in the ladder match, and it didn't work. And will his wife come into play here at all? Will Io Shirai maybe counter his wife? Because again, right now, momentum favors the challengers based on that tag match. And I know WWE logic usually dictates the ones who have the momentum, they're going to lose likely on Sunday. But this isn't regular WWE, despite how much Vince might be involved in NXT. This is NXT, and I believe something different is to come. And considering that this might be the last takeover from Full Sail, because one, they're moving out of Full Sail back into the Performance Center, apparently I've heard, and two, they're going to use family and friends as a live crowd here too at TakeOver 31. I believe that Johnny Gargano is going to become the new NXT North American Champion. Yes, he has opportunity at NXT TakeOver in Your House as well, and fell short in that match too against Keith Lee. But I feel that this is a totally different dynamic here too. So I'm going with new champion. I believe Johnny Gargano is going to be champion. Which leads me to the NXT Women's Championship match. Last year, I saw Io Shirai vs. Candice LeRae live at NXT TakeOver Toronto 2, and it was my favorite match of the entire weekend in Toronto, Canada. And I truly thought both these two, they were miles ahead of everybody else, and they were just waiting for their opportunity to show what they're made of and capitalize on it. Since that moment, Io Shirai has capitalized on it, finally becoming the NXT Women's Championship at NXT TakeOver in Your House, a triple threat against Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. And then she's basically had successful defenses against Dakota Kai, successful matches against Sasha Banks and Shotzi Blackheart and Tegan Nox as well. And right now, it's been a pretty good run for Io Shirai, and I was really wondering where her mind was at. But then I feel about Candice LeRae, the uncrowned NXT Women's Champion, in my opinion. For a while, all they saw her as, or was booking her as, was just Johnny Gargano's wife. In a way, she's kind of like that now, but she's really had some great matches of her own and really has shown what she's capable of. She's gotten through street fights with Mia Yim. She's gotten through grudge matches with multiple other competitors. She's gotten the better of competitors in mixed tag team matches. And she finally has made her way to challenge for the gold after such a long time, winning over the top rope battle royale, eliminating Shotzi Blackheart. With what Candice LeRae and Johnny Gargano are lately bringing, both together, using hashtag the Johnny Gargano way, I feel like now is finally the time we're going to see it happen. I feel that by the end of the night, we're going to see Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae both with singles gold. I feel it's finally time that Candice LeRae finally becomes the NXT Women's Champion. It's going to be a wild, aggressive match. These two have not met each other one-on-one since last year. And literally, we're just a little over a year and 2 months from that match. I can't wait to see this match. Honestly, this could be my match of the night if it goes the way I think it will. But we'll have to wait and see. But I believe Gargano and LeRae, they both walk out with the gold. I'm going with Candice LeRae becomes the new NXT Women's Champion. And then they'll probably do a rehashing feud between these two going forward since Tegan Nox is injured. I mean, it'd be wild if the whole Nox thing was a work and Tegan Nox comes out here and costs Candice LeRae the chance at the title, but I just don't see that happening. And I could see definitely the next program being for the title, Tegan Nox versus Candice LeRae down the line. Just saying. Which leads us to our main event, the NXT Championship, as Finn Balor defends the title now against Kyle O'Reilly. Finn Balor, he came to NXT for one reason, to reclaim what's his. He says that his past becomes his future becomes his past, and it all finally came full circle. Finn Balor is once again the NXT champion. The Prince did not miss. As the Prince capitalized, beating Adam Cole, baby, not only tying him in the 60-minute 4-way Iron Man match, but the following week beating him in, I still can't believe it was the opener though, but beating him in a very aggressive, impressive match. Former Bullet Club members each meet too sweet backstage, mutual respect. Finn Balor was a better guy. And this is Finn Balor's first title defense since becoming champion. He wants everybody now to fight for the opportunity. And Kyle O'Reilly, he fought for the opportunity, getting the opportunity of a lifetime in a 5-way gauntlet eliminator match, starting the gauntlet and running it, by the way. Beating the likes of Bronson Reed, Kushida, and outlasting them, basically. Cameron Grimes and Bronson Reed, Kushida, Cameron Grimes, and Timothy Thatcher. And I cannot wait to see him and Timothy Thatcher go one-on-one. Now, with that being said, do I see that for the gold? And looking at Adam Cole, baby, and the Undisputed Era setup, what do I see? Do I see anything major changing here? Do I see Kyle O'Reilly finally becoming the NXT champion? I believe he can do it, but I believe it is way too soon. Literally, we just had NXT TakeOver 30 where Karrion Kross beat Keith Lee, and then Karrion Kross had to relinquish it due to literally surgery he had to get with his torn shoulder. And then we had this oddball type setup, 5-way to figure out the freaking contender. But before that, we had the 4-way Iron Man match to find a new champion. That didn't happen. Then they had to do a freaking another match the following week. There's no way this soon in his title reign that Finn Balor is losing the gold. But we are in for something very special when Kyle O'Reilly and Finn Balor meet, considering how long both these men really want this match. Both these men respect each other. And also how long Kyle O'Reilly's been waiting for this opportunity. When pressure is at the most, he says is where he thrives. He's going to take the most of this, but in the end, I think the Prince is not going to miss. I'm going to say Finn Balor retains. With that being said, that's all I have to say for now. Is NXT TakeOver, of course, is literally tomorrow night, and I can't wait for it. And then, of course, we'll see what happens on the fallout of TakeOver. It was interesting how they called this episode not anything, but the previous episode Takeoff to TakeOver. Anyway. I don't know if they're going to keep doing Fiends for NXT episodes, but we'll have to wait and see. We're in October. Maybe we'll get a Halloween Havoc themed NXT episode Halloween week. I don't know. But that's all I got to say for now. So thank you so much for tuning in. You want to know more about me? Know this. I'm just a simple man and a lifelong fan of ... wrestling. So PlayStation, Instagram, Twitter, AdamFoster1916. You want to know more about? It's in the description down below. Support NoDQ, support WrestleJoy, Pro Wrestling Discussions, Team Ali, support Pro Wrestling Folks, because that's the heart of it. As always, I'd like to close. Support wrestling outlets, big and small. Let's keep growing this incredible, diverse, unique, elite, authentic, unscripted, unrestricted wrestling community together. Simple as that. If you haven't already, please join the please join the NoDQGalaxy Predictions League. The link for the forum for NXT TakeOver will be in the description down below. But until the next video, I just hope you all take care, enjoy life. Tomorrow's never guaranteed. Treasure your families. Enjoy wrestling. There's more of it now than ever. Find some promotion, some friend, somebody that connects with you. Make an Emmy out of it too. Shout out to Virtue. I dare y'all to challenge Virtue. He's looking for somebody for a debate. Just saying. And until the next video, which will either be AEW Spark, G1 Climax coverage, a simple take on further stuff, or Simple Chat Live next week Friday. I just hope you all enjoy life. Enjoy NXT if you can too. Have a wonderful day or night wherever you might be as well. And be safe too. Take care. And again, we are NXT. Boy, is it quite a scene.